Hello, my name is Amanda Lee, and I am one of the neonatal therapists here at Providence. Today we're going to talk about reading your infant's cues. We'll start by learning about your infant's states. Throughout the course of each day, your infant will experience both sleep and awake states. During sleep state, your infant will either be in a deep sleep, non-REM, or a light sleep, REM. Sleep states are critical for your infant's brain growth and development. Your infant will be spending lots of time in sleep, and we want to honor this essential time for brain development by keeping the lights low, using quiet voices, and minimizing stimulation in the environment. Your baby's awake states include the times when he or she is drowsy, quiet alert, active alert, and crying. When your infant is drowsy, they're going in and out of sleep state. When your infant is quiet and alert, he or she is calm and her body is still. Your infant may be looking around and taking in the environment. This is an optimal time for quiet engagement with your baby, and we will talk about this a little later in the video. Active alert is when your baby is awake and moving around. They might be starting to get fussy. Crying generally signals discontent or discomfort. Premature infant states often seem disorganized and less clear compared to full-term infants. They may transition in and out of states quickly and without predictability. As your infant gets closer to his or her due date, states will become more defined with more clear transitions. Even though your infant is small, he or she has a lot to say. A note about cues before we get started. Each baby is unique. We will cover lots of cues today, and these are a general guideline as to how your baby may be feeling. You know your baby the best, and the more time you spend getting to know one another, the more comfortable and confident you will become in reading your baby's individual cues. Your infant will show you signs that he or she is hungry by rooting, which is a reflex in response to touch stimulation near your infant's mouth, cheeks, or nose. You will see your infant opening his or her mouth, turning his or her head, and looking for the source of nutrition. You may also see your infant thrusting his or her tongue out of her mouth or smacking his lips together to indicate hunger. Or your infant may engage in non-nutritive sucking on the pacifier, a finger, or his or her hands. Infants often bring their hands to their mouths to let us know they are hungry. Crying is a late hunger cue, often after your infant has expressed hunger in one of the above mentioned ways. If your infant is ready to eat by mouth, you may offer your infant breastfeeding or bottle feeding. If your infant is not yet ready to eat by mouth, or is not yet able to complete a full feeding by mouth, you may hold your infant while their feeding is completed via their feeding tube. You may offer your infant a pacifier while holding them as their tummy gets full via the tube, and this helps to create an optimal feeding environment until your infant is ready to take full feedings by mouth. Let's move on to cues that I'm happy and ready. These will show you when your baby is ready to interact. When your infant is in a quiet, alert state, like we talked about earlier in this video, your infant's body will be calm and still, and they may be looking around at you or their environment. Your baby may have a calm, relaxed facial expression. Your infant may have relaxed movements of their arms and legs. Your infant may respond to the sound of your voice and touch by turning his or her face towards you or attempting to follow a moving face or object. Your infant may also make positive sounds. These are some ways that you can interact with your baby when he or she shows you signs that he's happy and ready. You can hold your infant in your arms or in kangaroo care. You can talk softly to your baby. Your infant loves the sound and melody of your voice and finds it soothing. You can change your infant's diaper or offer a feeding if it is an appropriate time. You can read your baby a story or sing a song. Reading to your infant daily is so beneficial for early communication and language development. There are books available for you in our NICU. If you don't have one, please ask your nurse or one of our neonatal therapy team members. We would be happy to get a book for you and your baby to enjoy together. These are some cues that show your infant may need to rest or take a break. These signs may often be in response to something negative occurring in the infant's environment. It can be something like infant fatigue, or it could be caused by exposure to a bright light or a diaper change, or it can indicate your infant is experiencing a larger discomfort. Your infant may have color changes to either red or blotchy, or mottled skin or pale skin. Your infant may have a frown or furrowed brows or a grimacing facial expression. Your infant may turn away and look away to avoid eye contact. Your infant may put up his or her hand in a stop sign position. Your infant may squeeze his or her hands tightly together and make a fist, or conversely, they may stretch their fingers and toes wide apart. Your infant may have tight muscles or alternatively feel limp. Your infant may have unorganized movement patterns or squirm, startle, or twitch more than usual. Your infant may arch his or her back. Or they may demonstrate quick state changes like we discussed earlier in this video. For example, if your infant becomes overwhelmed, he or she may rapidly transition to a sleep state to take a break or to tune out from an overstimulating environment. Your infant may also be fussy or start crying. Your infant may hiccup or sneeze or yawn. This one may seem a bit strange because hiccuping, sneezing, and yawning are things all babies do at one time or another and may not necessarily mean anything. However, the more you get to know your baby, you may learn that when there is something overwhelming in his or her environment, your baby always starts to yawn. In this way, hiccups, sneezes, and yawns can be your infant's subtle way of telling you that he or she needs to take a break to tune out the environment. These are some ways that you can interact with your baby to support him or her when she needs a break. You can hold your baby. You can use containment and still touch. You can swaddle your infant in a blanket. When your infant is in a flexed position with arms and legs toward the middle of their body, they feel most comfortable and supported, like when they were in utero, when every movement had a boundary. You can put your hand at the top of your infant's head or at the bottom of their feet so they have a boundary and can press against it. You can give your infant your finger to hold. You can talk with your infant softly. Your baby is comforted by the sound of your voice. You can shade your infant's eyes if the light is bright. And you can help facilitate transitioning your infant back to bed by staying with him or her for a few moments after you have put your infant down. You can work with your partner or a nurse to provide care for your infant with two people. One person will do the cares, and the other person will help the infant calm or regulate themselves. For example, one person changes your infant's diaper while the other person offers your infant a pacifier and helps guide your infant's arms to the middle of his or her body to calm your baby. Now let's talk about cues that show your baby is helping him or herself. Your infant may be able to calm, soothe, and regulate him or herself. You can know that your infant is soothing himself when you see him sucking non-nutritively on a pacifier or a finger or a hand. Sucking is the number one self-regulating activity an infant has. You may see your infant bringing his or her arms and legs to the center of the body independently. You may also see your infant with smooth sleep and wake transitions. You may see your infant bring his or her hands to their mouth or clasp their hands together. Your infant may be able to give you eye contact. Your infant may demonstrate rhythmic, robust crying for energy release. You may have met all of your infant's needs by allowing them to sleep, holding, changing, and feeding them, and sometimes they still may need to cry. This type of rhythmic crying is often indicative that your infant has some extra energy to release, and by doing this, they are helping themselves. Thinking about your infant's surroundings, position, and physical needs. Your infant's developing sensory system makes them sensitive to subtle changes in the environment. Bright lights, strong scents like perfume, and loud voices can all be overwhelming to your infant. Additionally, a soiled diaper or a lead that may be stuck between your infant's toes all contribute to your infant's overall stability and comfort. You are your infant's most important caregiver, and you can help facilitate an optimal environment for growth and development. Start small, one stimulation at a time, and then slowly add more. For example, when you first enter your infant's room, help alert them to your presence by offering still touch first, and then add your verbal greeting, instead of talking and touching your infant all at once. By respecting your infant's slower pace and quiet space, you are helping support his or her development. Finally, provide breaks as needed. Your infant loves to see your face. The contrast of the white and darker part of your eyes, your eyebrows that move up and down, and your mouth that opens and closes and makes sounds provide more wonder for your infant than any toy you can ever buy. But sometimes your infant will need a break, need a time to look away or have quiet or take a rest. Even when you are quiet, your presence in the room is helping your infant to grow and develop in so many ways. Thank you so much for watching this Cues video. Congratulations on the birth of your baby.